Yup.
Hi guys, it's your girl G9. I am here with
Your girl Neekko.
So Neekko.
Yes.
I always ask people about their name. That's your real name, right?
So my real name is Nicole, and then I go by Neekko. But yeah, like my mom actually told me, she was like, she wanted a boy when she was pregnant with me. She wanted a boy so bad, and like so she even would like she didn't get the gender check. She wanted to wait till she had me to like
to see what
to see. But even like her whole pregnancy, like with the baby shower and everything, she was telling everybody she's having a boy. Like, I'm having a boy, I'm having a boy, I'm having a boy. So she was convinced. She was like, yep, and I'm gonna name her Neekko. Well, I'm gonna name him Neekko, etc., etc. So when I came out a girl and I wasn't a boy, she was like, I decided to just name you Nicole instead of Neekko. And I was like, I like Neekko way better. Like,
you can name me that.
Yeah, like you definitely could have left that. Like I always felt like Nicole is so boring and like flat. Like I just feel like
everybody has that name, kind of.
Like or just like it just didn't fit me. Like I feel like I'm like Nicole just don't like. If I hear Nicole, that don't really sound like who I am. Like Neekko got some flavor. Like Neekko. Like
yeah, and
like,
it's like
just
it's
like that ring.
Like it's only one Neekko. Like I only know one Neekko.
Right? Like that ain't. It's not. Yeah, like you said, it's a little different. And it's usually a guy named Neekko. So it's like, and I spell it how I spell it and everything. I had to switch it up. It's not Nico, it's not that, but yeah, so that's where that name came from, and it still goes like Nicole, Neekko, not too far off.
Period.
Yeah.
So I like to do icebreakers.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. So I didn't tell her that we doing icebreaker, but now she knows.
That's cool. That's cool.
So I want to say hot or cold.
Hot.
You like the heat? You like the summertime?
I do, cause I like not like that, but I don't like wearing clothes, so it's cool. It be comfortable, like. But it's like I do, but I don't, cause I be sweating. I do get an attitude. I for real get an attitude when I'm hot, but for the most part, yeah, just be nice to have the sun out and just be outside with not having to wear a jacket, little tank top, feet out, toes out, and just be comfortable.
I love the summer for my toes and my nails.
A good little sit,
yeah.
You already know.
In the wintertime, it still matter, but in the summer, it's like you gotta be popping.
You gotta have the nails done. You cannot be flaking chips on the toes, and it's just a good time to show, it just, your stuff look good. It's shining, pink, white, orange. Those be like my go-to polish colors.
No, that is so true. Okay. Well, you just really named the summer. I was gonna say summer, winter, or fall. So you like hot.
Yeah, but I do. But the thing about it too is I really love winter too. Like I love this weather right now. The rain, I love this. I don't like being out in it, but like in the house, I like the rain coming down, the gloominess. And I like having my house warm and cozy while it's cold.
Yes, with the cover on you with some ice cream.
It's just a whole vibe. Exactly, with the ice cream. You understand? So I do like the cold too. I just don't like being out in it. But so it could go either way.
The east side or the west side of LA?
West side.
Thank you.
West side.
You know how many people that said east side on my show?
But I love the east side too.
Half of my friends are from the east side.
There's nothing wrong with the east side, but if I have to choose, I'm gonna say the west side.
You from the west side?
Yeah. Well, see, I moved around a lot, so
she said.
Because people are like, where you from LA? Because I know what the question is when people ask you, when you from LA and you ask people where they from in LA, it's like they want to know specifics. So I always get that question, but I have to tell people I'm just from the county, because I've lived in Gardena, because we can
LA
go down
County.
a list, but I'm gonna start with LA, and then when you want to know, then it's I just start listing off the cities that I moved to, I've lived in. But yeah, I lived in Gardena, Hawthorne, Inglewood, Torrance, Lawndale, Long Beach, Compton. I moved around.
You moved around.
Yeah, I didn't move around schools a lot, but as far as my living goes,
you moved around. So you just always say LA County.
Exactly. I'm from LA.
So are you going for the 49ers, or are you gonna still represent the Rams? Which one you going with?
So I don't really watch sports. I don't really care.
Okay. Yeah.
But I'm going for whoever's black. I'm rooting for whoever's black. No, I'm just playing. I'll probably go for the Rams just because it's from LA. That'll be my only reason. But I don't really care who wins. It's whoever wins, root for you. Go ahead. Woohoo.
It's Black History Month. Okay, so we are rooting for everybody that's black.
Exactly. And I'm and if I'm going to a Super Bowl party, I'm just there for the food.
She's there for the chips and dip.
And I'm in the halftime show. I want to see what Usher doing. But I ain't tripping on the game.
It's so crazy. Not to cut off our what's the name, but Usher performing at the Super Bowl. How do you feel about that?
I think that's lit. I never honestly, when it comes to them choosing artists, I never even have in my mind like, oh, this artist should be performing at the Super Bowl. Like I feel like I'm like, they have who? Did they have Mary J. Blige and
they had the West Coast? Mary.
Yeah,
that was Detroit was in there a little bit.
A little bit. Then they had like Beyonce.
Yeah, they had a couple. Yeah.
So it's like I'm feeling them. Like, and I think Usher is fitting.
It's his time.
Yeah, like I feel like he's definitely fitting, and especially after the residency situation that he had going on in Vegas.
Yeah, everybody going crazy.
Yeah, everybody going like it's like now I want to go see somebody in Vegas now. Like like who? And I think they said T-Pain got a residency coming up next, which I'm like, okay, I feel like that could make up a little bit because I wanted to go to Usher's. I didn't get to make it before the residency ended, but I was just like, if T-Pain coming, I'm with that.
Yeah, and I be thinking like T-Pain is like my club days, so I could do a T-Pain.
No, I love T-Pain. Like the Epiphany album, oh my gosh,
ooh,
like I still got my singles, my tracks on my in the shuffle right now. Like to
since you said that, another icebreaker I'm gonna give to you is what is your favorite album R&B of all time?
Dang, I don't feel like I have a favorite, but I could name some that I really enjoyed, which was so okay, I'm definitely going with Usher's Confessions, going with Lloyd,
Southside?
Is it Southside or is it like, oh my gosh, I'm going blank right now, and
is it when he cut his hair or when he had his hair?
He had his hair. And
so it showed that album. Get it
Shawty album. It's another one. Hold on, y'all, because I could just show you right now. Like, let me get this right. Yeah, I'm like it's right here, y'all. Like I don't know why I'm going blank on you like this, but I really want to. Okay, so Lloyd in Love. It was that album, Lloyd in Love, and then it was what's this one? It got certified Street Love. Thank you. That's what I was trying to say. So Lloyd in Love album and the Street Love album. Those was my other ones. And then of course T-Pain, Epiphany. That was my. I'm gonna go with those. Like so, yeah. And Beyonce, Dangerously in Love was a good album.
I think that was like her best one.
Yeah, her first little solo project, and she came out. She came out with the heat. Beyonce. Oh yes, Beyonce. Yeah, because I'm like I ain't got into Beyonce since Lemonade. Like after Lemonade, I fell off of Beyonce. So I'm like I don't really not like. I don't like her, but I'm just
like fell off. Like I ain't listening to music like that.
I actually don't be listening to Beyonce like that, like her projects.
I think it's because she has changed her era of music so much. It's like okay, I'm gonna go to that one. Yeah,
like like I liked the music she had when she was first coming out and then on her run and everything.
It's like we have to grow with her, but we're not there. If we're not there yet, we have to come back.
Yeah,
we're gonna come back. I'm gonna come back.
Yeah, and I'm cool. But it's like Beyonce. I like how she stays with the times too. Like she doesn't outdate herself. Like it's like okay, she got the new sound on her project that she just came out with. Like she keeps up. So
she does.
Shout out to her. Like that's hard.
She's like a trend
because it's a lot that keeps changing. So I salute that to her to be able to keep up with these changes. Like
because you have to like really be involved, and she's not involved. She looked like she's not involved,
but she is. Exactly. That's a good. I like that you brought that out. Like she don't seem like she really in the loop because she seemed like she ducked off, minding her business, living her life. But it's like when she dropped, it's like she's been in tune.
She is in the loop.
Yeah, like she is on Instagram. Like she is on TikTok. You may not know what page she using, but she on somebody page. She tapped in.
She be knowing. Last but not least, and I'm gonna say this.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna say this. Okay, if you had to choose between your being the younger you or who you are now, what would you go back to, or would you stay the same?
I mean, I would definitely say the same. Just because I feel like, no, it ain't going back. Like it's one foot in front of the other. Like if when it happened, and I'm gonna leave it there. Like I'm not gonna go back for it. I could reminisce though. Like I was.
So you okay with everything that has happened in your past? You would never want to go back and then switch something and go start all over again in a sense.
Nah, I'm cool with it. I feel like what the path that I've gotten myself on. It's lit. Like I think that there's really a lot. Like I feel like there's really some good things in store that are blooming and blossoming for me right now. To where I feel like what I went through, it's gonna pay off. Like so I'm not mad at it. Like I'm cool. I'm cool with it. I don't want to rewrite it.
I like her answer. I like that answer.
Yeah,
because a lot of people I would go back because I would not be with that person. I would not do this. And I would not. But I like that answer because all your experiences teach you to be who you are today.
No, for real, and it's just like I'm proud of myself for how I've overcome, you know, my past and things that I went through and learned from. You know, of course, it ain't always happy, you know, times. It was some drama, but it's okay. Like I'm here, like, you know, I'm still pretty, you know,
Period.
like still beautiful on the
Melanin
inside,
and all.
right? Okay, period. Black History Month, Black History Year, no,
All
but like,
year.
you feel
Okay,
me? Let's
what
get
Whitney
that
and
right.
Bobby said.
Okay, exactly. I love Whitney and Bobby. Oh my gosh, I love them.
That's why we mess with them, because they be knowing.
They know. I rock with them.
Like, they don't change their roots for nobody.
You feel me?
May she rest in peace.
Rest in peace, yes. Rest in peace, Whitney. But yeah, like I like where I'm at, and I'm looking forward to where I'm on my way to right now. Like
I like that. Let's give it up for Neekko.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get right into it. Education is key.
Yes,
You have so many hats. From let me read them. She does media. She does hosting. She not only does that, she does education is key. So she's giving back to the community and she's putting into the community and giving back. If that makes sense. I want to ask you, what is a hat that no one knows that you do carry?
This is a good question. A hat that they don't know that I do carry. Okay, so this is yeah, so this is what I'm gonna say. I feel like some people don't know, and I was like, this is probably like a misrepresentation, but not in a bad way. But I feel like some people probably don't know that I got a job. Like, I still work 9 to 5. Like,
I wouldn't have thought that when you said that earlier. I was like, oh,
yeah.
It just looked like you do
So much of that, like it's paying the bills, and, and it's good. It is. I am doing a lot, and it is working. But I'm still not where I need. Well, not where I need to be or where I want to be. But I'm just still not at that level yet that I'm on my way to where I can let it go. Let go of the 9 to 5 yet.
Yeah.
And
it's like uncomfortable to let go of 9 to 5 too. You don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, because I could let it go, you know, and I'll be all right. I know that 100%, but it's just a way like that I want to go about it. And like you mentioned, it's just like I don't want to step out and be like so thirsty to let go of that and then be scrambling, like having to scramble real quick. Because you know that little in between period when you're trying to get your foot in, when you let go of that stable 9 to 5, and now you responsible for figuring it all out. And now you know that income, you got to keep it consistent.
What is your sign? Because you sound like me.
I'm an Aries. What's your sign?
Yeah, I'm a Libra. We earth signs.
I love a Libra. I got a good Libra friend.
I know. You know, we come a dime a dozen. You know,
I rock with y'all for sure.
I love Aries. Shout out to Hood.
Love you too.
But what I do want to say is that is like one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about. But we'll get to it later about failure and being in fear.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Of that failure part. But let's get on education is key. Education is key is what?
Okay, so Education is Key is my 501c3 nonprofit where we are committed to fundraising money for scholarships for inner city students of LA.
Yes.
In addition to that, we also host our community fundraiser events. We partner and collab with other, community organizations or, community, my community peers, like-minded individuals, like yourself, and others to promote. Spread the word. Again, fundraise together to give back together because it's like my organization, it goes beyond scholarships. Like, it's not just about that. It's really, and it's not just for students. Like, it's not just for the youth.
Oh, okay.
It's for the community. Like, all ages. Like, we need to know, or not that we need to know, but I want to encourage us to be educated because after you graduate, you don't stop learning. You got to continue to learn after school too. Like, so it's just a big message in that. Also in unity, like, just showing what we can do when we band together and just showing how we can be self-sufficient because, they say, oh, we're like crabs in a barrel, or, we feel like, right? Or they feel like, they may feel like, oh, we need a rich person to come save us. We need the government to save us. We need,
and it's so crazy.
It's like we can do it.
Yes.
We can do it if we put our money together. And so with me operating in that sense, where like majority of all my donations have come from those donors, from the community, and some people donate $5, $10, $20, $100, $1,000. I've gotten all types of donations, but it all counted and it's all allowed me to carry this for 5 years now, giving out scholarships. So shout out to me. I'm gonna take my credit.
Give your flowers.
I'm gonna give myself my flowers. Thank you, but I'm also shout out to us. Like so whenever I will give out the scholarships, I love to let the community know like it's not me doing this, it's we. So that's another intention with my organization and with my campaigning. And now I'm about to embark on programming in it, like the enrichment and mentorship programs, to be able to like also be hands-on with the students in the schools beyond, you know, a check and the financial assistance that I'm trying to do, you know, or provide for us. You know?
Is it a reason why you got into Education is Key and created this nonprofit? Is it because you went through a situation where you didn't know how to get scholarships or you didn't have the funding? Is it something like that? That's why you got into it?
Yeah, it's a few reasons. I am a first generation college graduate, so you know, I knew the value in what is it? I'm going blank on the word, but the privilege, like the privilege that I was in or had to be in a university, you know, and knowing that there's others just like me, you know, who count themselves out or, you know, maybe intimidated and would think, you know, oh, because you don't have the funding, like the money to go to school or whatever, or you think, you know, you're so used to your environment, you think it's nothing beyond that you can attain, and it's like you can. And so I wanted to pay it forward. When I was in college, like I knew I wanted to have an organization. I had a different idea, but I knew scholarships was one of the things that I wanted to do with it. You know, so while I was in college and I was, you know, getting into media, that whole entertainment world, building a name for myself, working with all these people, I'm like, okay, I want something for Neekko. Like, what does Neekko have? I have a lot of partnerships and collaborations to show my work, which is great. That's what I'm about. I'm gonna always keep collaborating. Right. But, you know, it's like I'm getting to a point where it's like, okay, now you want something of your own too, to be able to add to the pot and bring to the table outside of just you. So I was like, okay, I'm about to go back to the nonprofit interest that I've had since I've been in college and, you know, dig into that. And I'm gonna integrate what I've been doing with the entertainment side of things. I'm gonna get that world mixed into this.
Oh, girl,
you know?
Give me high five, because you making me all in
Come
there.
on,
I wish I had a thousand
you
to
know?
give to you. Okay?
But no, but it will be so dope, you know, that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it right, and I know other people want to do stuff like this, so they can do it with me.
Yes,
so I knew, like,
collabing and
that's why
I always think relationships is great. People don't want to be the one to contact person or this, but I always feel like even how we connected through Coco Awards and Millie and
you know,
so it's like you can connect with people and find out how they can generate what they're doing and what you're doing and make some blossom.
You know, so it's like it's just so much intention behind it. But I kind of like I was answering a question. What was I just answering? Because I know I was talking about a lot. What was I just saying? I know I was saying like the intention behind beyond the scholarships, collaborating. But you know what? We're gonna keep it going. But anyways, I do want to mention too, like with my scholarships, I don't only give them to, you know, students that's going to university. It's like you could be going to city college, state college, trade school, vocational school, you know,
okay, that's even good.
You know,
that's
signing up for a program to learn tech or whatever, and it costs. You can get a scholarship for that. Like, you know, through Education is Key, because my whole thing is just financial assistance. I want to assist you financially. I'm not really tripping about what specific institute you're going for, but as long as you're going somewhere to enhance a skill, you know, your knowledge, and it costs, because everything costs.
Everything is high.
So I know how it is. Too. You know, exactly. I'm here to help, and I don't like to just put too much caps and limits on it. Like I'm reaching everybody some kind of way. Yeah. You know, and as long as it makes sense, my goal is to reach everybody in our community, in the underserved community. You know.
I love that for you.
Thank you.
That you'll be able to fulfill the goal that you had in your brain and see it to light. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I do want to ask you: is it any story that you heard from one of the young people that you wanted to help that you couldn't help, and how do you deal with that?
I wouldn't say I've heard of a story where I couldn't help. I mean, I probably couldn't like solve the problem completely, but I will say I've had students, you know, that have applied, and they will, because I like to, like, I do the interviews with students, like a part of the process. I do interview the students, but the interview is not for me to necessarily like investigate or like put you to a test. It's really just literally to talk to you. I just want to build a little rapport. You get to see who's behind, you know, this organization, who's running this. Like, you know, there is a person. Like, this is a real thing.
I'm not Sally Mae.
Yeah, like this ain't AI. This ain't nobody that's, you know, like I like it helps build trust too, you know, with the community as well. But within these interviews, you know, I have conversations with the students, and they'll let me know, like, you know, that they're struggling struggling, or like I know one student, she let me know that she didn't know how she was gonna get back to school necessarily, as far as like flying back, getting a plane ticket. But she was like, I chose this school and I went with this school and knowing that God is gonna make a way. Like, I'm not gonna worry about she didn't talk herself out of the decision because of her finances or anything. It was just like, I want to go here. I know I could do it, and I know God is gonna make it happen. And so it was just like, when I'm listening to her talk to me, it's like she don't know that she's already selected for this scholarship, but it's like, I'm already like, being able to have these organic and real conversations with these students, and then it gets me excited because I'm like, I know I'm going to be able to be a part of an encouragement for her. Because that's what I'm here for. I'm not here to necessarily go for who's the smartest kid, or it's not about that. I'm here to encourage the students that apply themselves and show up for themselves for the opportunity, and I want to keep pushing them to continue to do that. I don't want to make it hard. Like, this is not to be having kids go through hoops and loops. You don't have to earn it, but it's simple. Just show up.
So, because some kids don't have it at home.
Exactly.
They don't have the encouragement. Not saying that it's all on the parents, but it starts there. It starts with the parents feeding into you what you need to do when you get out of school and all these things. And sometimes we turn to people like you because you can encourage them to really go to school. They probably didn't never think, I could go to school, or vocational school, or just a community school would just be okay to get your trade. People sometimes think they got to go to a 4-year to get a great job, and that's not always it either. You can do a whole 4 years and still not be in the position you want to be in, and it could be someone that just be in a position from being at a job for so long you get promoted.
No, seriously, exactly. And it's like, I know some people that have gone into positions and passed up the person that had the higher degrees or more degrees, and they didn't have a degree at all. But it's so that's why it's like, as I continue with my organization and pushing the message, it'll become more clear. But I want to encourage the community to know, like, don't count yourself out. We are capable, we are, valuable, and we are deserving, and we belong. Like, we belong in these spaces that we, are so commonly used to seeing a certain demographic in, and not as many of us. And that's okay, but that doesn't mean that we aren't, we don't belong there, so
I love that.
It's just it's really like, it's beyond the money. Like, it's really like a energy for me, like what I want to pour out into my audience, or the children, my community, my peers,
and they trust you because you are in the front line. As much as how we have people that say, I'm for the community, and then you don't see them in the community.
Right.
You can give so much money behind closed doors, but you're not out there. It's the difference. You are always in the front. Even down to media, we're going to push it aside a little bit with media. How did you get into media? And you saying you connected that with education is key. What made you create that? Like, okay, I can connect I'm hanging around all these people. Let me do that.
Exactly. Because I'm like, with entertainment, I call myself an entertainer with a purpose. Like, it's bigger than just making people feel a certain way and entertaining them. Like, how can I leave something behind? How can I attach the it's bigger than me mindset to this type of thing? But getting into media, I always knew I was going to be an entertainer. Like, when I was younger, I thought I was gonna be like a famous actress. I thought acting was what I wanted to do. I just knew, like, I'm gonna be on billboards.
I'm Tyler Pratt. I'm ready to go.
I'm not about to play with you. I love that. No, for real.
My mama used to always make you feel like that.
Come on, exactly. Look, that's funny. Now we do the look.
Little girl.
Now we do the look. They say black people just all get that look. We know. I love that. We just caught that on camera.
You already knew.
That's funny as hell.
We knew because our parents, black parents, they think that all their kids stars.
Period.
All your kids are stars. And they are.
Exactly.
But
should be, for real.
But they got to select a few.
Right.
And I think me and you was one of them.
I mean, it makes sense. And that's why we. Okay. So yes, I was like, I'm gonna be an actress, and so my mom, though, like, as I got older, my mom was just like, that's great, but she also was encouraging, like, you need some stability, like, acting isn't stable, like, whatever. So it's just like, okay, so I went to school, but yeah, so I just was like, I don't see myself sitting at a desk, like my life being like I'm gonna retire at a desk job, like, or in the middle, like I'm not like that, but like I'm not a doctor, I don't want to be no lawyer, like I just want to be entertaining, like
you want to do what makes you feel good.
Yeah, and that too, exactly. So I'm just like, I'm gonna always pursue that. And like I said, it started off with acting. I remember I used to go on auditions for commercials. I used to be trying to get in the agency, all of that. Then it transitioned into, I thought like, okay, maybe I'll be doing radio. Like maybe I'm going to be a radio personality. So I remember I was trying to pursue radio at one point too. And then it was like when I was in college, we got Instagram, and like I told you, I was still trying to pursue entertainment. I got to a point where I was just like, I need to post stuff showing like my skills. Like, so I was posting like, I don't know if you remember Dub Smash, but I remember they had like this app.
They do the acting thing.
Yeah, you could like you did the voice, right? Okay, so I was like, I remember I was using that app, and I was like, I'm about to just be posting funny stuff and reenactments to show like
I'm an actress, I'm a this,
yeah, like I got personality. Like let me show this personality off, and then it started actually like sticking, and then I remember I started hosting, but the hosting that I started doing was hosting the club, hosting the function. You get the flyer, you get the free entry, you get the section. You feel me? So I'm doing that hosting, right? So I remember a friend of mine, Reason, he was starting rapping, like he was getting into music, and so one of the things that he used to do was have these events, these pop-up shop events type of thing. And so his first one that he hit me up to host. So I'm thinking like, oh, okay, I'll host, like give me the flyer, I'm gonna post it, I'll be there, I'm gonna get my little free entry, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So the night before the event, he actually calls me, he's like, okay, so you ready tomorrow, you ready to host? I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right, so you know what you gonna say? And I was like, huh? I was like, wait, what? And I was like,
ain't even prepared.
Yeah,
you think you finna get up there?
Girl, I said, oh, you want me to host, like on the mic and like introduce and like talk? I thought I was just showing up on the flyer or whatever. But mind you,
I understand.
I've been a natural personality all my life. Like speaking in front of crowds, I ain't never been shy. Like I'm a performer. So even though I kind of was like thrown, like caught off guard, I just still was like, all right, like yeah, like we doing it. Like
what we doing? What you want me to say?
Yeah,
okay,
like
I got that.
You feel me? It was just kind of like, oh, you want me to do that? So now I'm like, all right, I'm just thinking about things that I've seen or what I think it should be like based off what I've seen in regards to like how should I be hosting? Like, I ain't never knew, like I've never hosted before, but it was just like, all right, we gonna go in there, I'm gonna introduce myself. This the name of the event.
Was you Issa in the mirror?
Girl, what's funny as hell? I was literally sitting in front of a mirror when I had this call. That's funny as hell. I was in the mirror a little bit, but I'll be in my head mostly.
Yeah, I get it.
When I do preps for anything, like to this day, I don't really go in front of a mirror and look at myself. Even if I did, I won't look at myself. I'll probably look off because it's just, I don't know, it's distracting. So I'm really like a person that be in my head. Like I'll be in my head and I'll say things out loud, like I'll talk out loud, but I don't be in the mirror like talking to myself. But whatever the case, I showed up, like I didn't say no, I took it and I ran with it type of thing. Like literally I took it and I ran with it. And I guess you could say that was my debut hosting gig, because from there I continued to get opportunities. People hit me up to host and do interviews and stuff, and I wanted to do stuff like that. So it just was like, it like landed in my lap and it stuck. Like it was like it landed and it stuck, and I just continued with it, and it's been up, and I just been finding my lane with it as I've been going. And that's how I also again transitioned into like I'm gonna get into the nonprofit, and I'm gonna connect the dots with what I already do with entertainment and build it up like that.
And what made you get into the nonprofit? Because people don't really know how nonprofits work, because you probably had to educate yourself on, did you have to go get certifications and all of that about doing education is key?
So with nonprofit, I got into it not knowing nothing about it, and I'm the type of person, honestly, it's like jump in, you sink or swim. Like, and so I'll be transparent, I'll be honest, like I didn't go do my research first. I really just learned as I went. And with that being said, at first I was intimidated by the process, because I did ask people. I didn't go on the computer and look myself. I was asking people that had nonprofits, like, oh, how did you get started? Like, what's some things I need to do? Was it
like they scared to tell you?
No, it was like they were scared to tell me, but I did hear like, oh, it's gonna take about like half a year to a year. The process, like, you're gonna have to have your bylaws, you're gonna have to have your directors, and what you do need stuff like that, but for when I did the process and for my organization, like what I was doing, I didn't need to submit any bylaws. All I needed was a CEO, CFO, and a secretary, like on paper to submit. Like I didn't need a whole board of directors. Like it was like things that I was learning when I finally went and did it myself and did, learn.
Yeah.
I was like, because I was on the phone call, like, because people ask me too, like I just had somebody that reached out and was telling me like, how do you start? Like, how do you start a nonprofit? I want to know, I always tell them, I'm like, it's the Secretary of State, the Franchise Tax Board, and the IRS. Those are the 3 departments that you're gonna be dealing with, and this is just to make it easy and simple and not scare you, because like I told you, people was telling me things and it intimidated me, and I didn't get started for that, like legalizing my situation for like after a year, because with that 2019, my first year of doing my service, I wasn't a nonprofit. I just was like, I'm just gonna do it and I'm gonna figure it out later. Like but I know I could fundraise, like I could ask people for money.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna take this money.
Can do that.
Yeah, and I'm like, I got a bank account, so I could get my checks, write the checks out from my personal account.
That's how it usually works with things.
Yeah, so I just was like, I just did it that way my first year. But then I'm like, okay, I'm really gonna do this, so I have to do it right. So it's like, girl, you gotta get registered. So then that's when I started. And shout out to Skip Townsend, who has the nonprofit Wolfpack. He actually was someone who was just like, he was like, do it yourself. He's like, and I'm gonna tell you how. So, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna write it down. I was typing my notes down. He was like, you're gonna go to the Ronald Reagan building. That's in LA.
This was step by step.
He literally did. And this was before COVID. So I pulled up to the Ronald Reagan building. I went to the floor because I took the notes. He told me what floor. I don't remember. I wish I had them damn notes. I don't know what I did with them. But he told me the floor to go to because the Secretary of State was in there. So I went to that office. I thought it was going to be a whole little day situation. That took like 10 minutes. I just went in there. I said, I'm here to file a nonprofit. It was a one form. Fill out a basic form. Pay my little fee. It was like $40, I want to say. It wasn't nothing expensive. Boom. Started me off. Then I went down. It was another floor where I went down to the Franchise Tax Board that was in the building. This was in the same building. I forgot exactly what I did there, but I did some there too. Boom. Got me started. Then from there, what I had to do is I was calling the number, the 800 number to the Secretary of State.
They wasn't answering.
No, they was answering, but you had to sit on that hold. Like, so I was sitting on them hour-long holds, and when that rep get on the phone, I'm letting them know, like, I don't know nothing about nonprofit, but I want to file for nonprofit. What are my steps? I've done this so far. What's the next thing? Like, I would ask them for the specific things, and they would tell me. So when people would ask me, like, how did you do yours? I tell them, like, okay, this is where you're going to start, and I'm going to give you a heads up. You don't have to, but what I did was I called and I talked to a rep, and I had a rep guide me all the way through, because I would Google and YouTube sometimes to try and get answers. It's a lot. It was having me all over the place. So I was like, I'm gonna talk to a rep in that department, and so that's what I did. And yeah, I filled out my forms. I paid I remember people was either gonna charge me $800 to $1,000, or some people was telling me it was about $800 to get tax exempt, all that stuff. But I paid under $400, I want to say, for my process, and I got registered and tax exempted within 3 months, because I think I started the process in September or something like that, and I was done and set up by November, December, by the end of the year of 2019 and coming into 2020.
It's all about dedication.
Yeah,
when you put in the work of things, it will happen for you when you want them to happen.
Yeah, it's it can be done. Some stuff, it's not necessarily that it's hard. It's just tedious. That's what people don't finish because it's just so tedious.
It's I don't want to do that. Oh, that's that.
Yes. And you can do it.
And everybody be like, how do you start a podcast? You need boom, boom, boom. Oh, I gotta do the recording.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta set up the mic. I gotta know.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I gotta edit.
But it can be done.
It can be done. It's all about what you want to do in life.
For sure.
If you want something in life, you're gonna work hard to get it. Just like we go to work every day, even if we don't like the job, the coworkers.
Listen, because you want your rent paid, you want a place to stay. Yeah. So you're gonna do it, even though it's a lot. But it can be done.
It can be done. Okay, so I want to get on this topic with you. I know to get on this topic with you because I always hear these stories about people feeling like they can't do something, they count themselves out before they even try, like you just ended with. And failure is one of the topics I wanted to get on because a lot of people think that failure is basically, it could be all type of ways of failing, right?
Yeah.
But people don't understand that if you put the work in, you're gonna fail a few times. Just like Nip said, you're gonna fail a few times before you even win, before you see the results. So how do you feel about failure, and how do you keep your students and even you from not feeling the failure? I see you have
my little
Buddha. Yeah. Does that give you faith too?
So this is really that, but it's like I wouldn't say like that's not my religion or anything like that. This really is a gift from my mom. She got me and my sisters and herself all the Buddha in our favorite colors. Like hers is purple, mine is blue, my sister's is green.
What does Buddha represent?
I don't want to lie to y'all, but I feel like peace, you know, and protection,
a spiritual type of thing.
Yeah. But I wear it in representation of, you know, it being something from my mom and something that I share with my sisters.
I love that.
And I'm like, I've heard. I don't want to lie because I can't remember specifically what I've heard, but I feel like I've heard good things about what Buddha represents, so I'm okay with wearing it.
Yes.
And you know,
your mama gave it to you.
And my mama gave it to me. You feel me? So it's love on this. You know, whatever it is, it's love on it. And it's you know, save my mom, pray on it, you know, but
I'm sorry, back to what we were saying about I just went right to the chat. See, that's why y'all
it's organic.
It's
like
organic,
you know,
it's
we just not a script. That's
we had
why
a little
we
I had to slide that in like that. Buddha, I like that.
Yeah, thank you.
Back to failure.
Yeah.
What I was saying, a lot of people, how do you describe failure? How do you stay away from feeling like you're a failure when things don't work out?
Yeah.
And how do you put that into your children, the kids?
The students. 100%. Yeah. Like, failure to me is when you give up. Period. It's as simple as that. When you stop. Failure is when you stop. That's it. But yeah, a lot of times if I feel like I'm failing or, you know, not doing what I should be doing or I'm not at where I think I should be at, whatever the case, I always just, you know, remind myself like, it's a marathon. Like, you know, like I have to talk to myself and just, you know, remind myself what I've done, what I've already done, what I've already accomplished, you know, what I've overcome and where I'm at now. And, you know, just like look at the glass half full. Like I'm all about just having a positive mindset because things could be worse. You know, it's easy to think negative. It's easy to get yourself in that dark hole. But sometimes you really just have to ground yourself. Like, oh my gosh, being grounded is so important to me. Like just thinking about the fact that it's like, oh, I could call my mom. I'm winning. Like I could pick up the phone right now and I could hear my mom's voice. I could have a conversation with her. I could have a conversation with my father. I could have a conversation with my loved ones. Like, you feel me? So it's just like things like that I think about. Like, dang, I ain't in the hospital. I'm not on the hospital bed. Ain't nobody in my family in the hospital. You know, we got a sane mind. I got, you know, air in my lungs. Like, I have another day. Like, and it could be as simple as that. Like, it don't have to be like, oh my gosh, I got $1 million in the bank. I got the newest car. I don't like. That's not the stuff that I train my mind to even, you know, allow to have that kind of like effect on me. Like materialistic things, you know, that's not even accolades. Like I love accolades and I want those, but that doesn't make my journey. Like I don't do what I do for accolades or you feel me? Like I don't do it for the money. Like, you know, so whenever I'm feeling like I'm failing or think about failure, it's just get grounded, Nicole. Like you hear, you know, you feel me? Your spirit is good. You know, you don't have no ill intent. You don't have no hate in you.
As long as God knows that,
and you know, and God knows my heart. Like, you know, like then that gets me kind of back into like a good mind space and good energy to continue forward and keep pushing. And then of course, you know, definitely always pouring into the students, like reminding them that you know you're not failing when you try. Like you feel me? Like you're not failing as long as you're doing, you're winning. You might have a little pivot off, you know, or anything, but that's okay because we all do. Like that's a part of the process. You cannot have a perfect process. Who wants a perfect process?
You want to be able to tell the ups and downs and around.
Yeah, you want some seasoning. Like you want to feel some bumps and bruises. That's what makes it even more rewarding. Like that's what makes it even more fulfilling when you do win. Where it's just like if you always winning, it ain't gonna feel like nothing. It's like, you know,
that's true too. And I always tell people, like, be okay with the failure part because it will teach you to not do that again, whatever you did.
Literally, like, yes, and that's what they say, like, you know, every L, like, take it as a lesson. Like, this is a learning experience. It's not a defeat. It's not a defeat. It's like, oh, okay, this is a moment right now. Like, damn, this is not going in my favor, but wait, let me kind of like observe this. Let me assess
what I could have done better, or what can I do next?
Let me assess the moment. Okay, boom. All right, keep it in mind. Let's push forward. Now you done got yourself up to another level. Like you done broke a new code. So that's all you're doing when you failing and you learning from it, now you're leveling up. You're actually winning from that fail.
I think that's what we're supposed to do in life too, is fail sometime. I think
you're supposed
the point of like they always call like your childhood and things like that. A lot of that taught us not to do certain shit.
Right.
And when we got adults, like not like that, but I don't want to be a gambler, I don't want to be a drunk, and I don't want to be high every day. A lot of times we see certain things in our childhood and everybody call it like it's bad. It's so bad. But a lot of that has taught me what I don't want in my future.
Yes.
I didn't want to experience abuse in relationship, and I did. Yeah. But then when I experienced it, it's not that it was a good thing, but then it made me understand when I used to see that growing up, why mother was crazy. Why people stayed, why people, and it does not an excuse for it, but I'm just saying it opened it's much bigger than what I thought. Because you can always look on the outside of somebody and say, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that.
Right, like it's easy to tell somebody what they should and shouldn't do, but when you in their position,
you
it's
can't.
Different.
Yeah,
it's
so
different.
I always look at failure as like, something that I did not try or something that I did not experience that maybe that could have made me, because a lot of times a lot of people don't get through life, they get stuck because they're scared of failing. So I think it builds you up in a sense when you fail at something. Like, you know how many times my mic was off and the person I couldn't talk to, everything destroyed. But that taught me next time it ain't gonna happen again.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Exactly. Excuse me. And a lot of times, like, you know, some people may think that like when something comes to an end, that's like can represent failure. So whether that be a relationship coming to an end, you know, they thinking like, oh, I failed or it's failed. No, like that's another thing that's like I've been talking about often, but it's just like things have a season. It has an expiration, and that's okay.
Yes.
Like, be okay with things coming to an end. Like, don't, like people, we try and force it and we try and make things last a certain, like, you're not in control of time. Like, let things be. You just need to experience. Like, just experience this time that you're in and flow with it and allow it to flow. And I feel like, you know, you would be more peaceful in life when you just, because I'm like, there is a relationship that, you know, that I was in, and I feel like we forced it and trying to keep it longer than what it was supposed to be, and it ended bad. And I feel like if we would have just allowed it to flow and, you know, and end and realize, like, us, like, you know, kind of observe that this is coming to an end, but it's like, I can't think of the word, but it's like it's good. Like, it's okay. Like, it's a good end. Like, this can end healthy and well as long as we acknowledge it. You feel me? And we let it be what it is, and we continue on. Like, we don't have to be enemies after this because it's the end. Like, you know, we don't have to.
It's not that even enemies. I just don't want to be your friend no more.
Yeah, like and that's okay.
And that's
like, you
okay.
Feel me? That is okay. I was just talking to my friend, another friend, like about this really yesterday. Sometimes you may not want to be friends with. Like, you start to realize, like, dang, we not meshing well no more, and I'm outgrowing you. But yeah, like, and I want to tell you that, but I feel like it's gonna hurt your feelings. Like,
and it do be hurting people's feelings.
Yeah, like some people, they not emotionally mature yet.
Even the relationships with your family.
Yeah, but
you can outgrow them. You can. A lot of times they be still stuck in 1985. And you right here. I done talked to my uncle so many times. He done talked about 1979 100 times. And when I tell you he's still there, he is still there.
We in 2024,
we in 2024. He
like, I get 2024.
Now that you he don't do Cash App, he don't do Zelle, he don't do none of that. He like, the government gonna take my money. He's still there.
And you think he
do everything cash.
I mean, I ain't too mad at that, but he gotta tap into it because he could grow his money. He could be growing his money.
Send me my money. Oh, you gotta come get it. No,
we got Zelle.
Yeah, Cash App me. I don't want to come see you so you can talk me to death.
Yeah,
but anyway,
you know.
No, I'm just playing.
No, but yeah, like, all in all, it's just like, even when things come to an end, everybody, it is okay. Stop beating yourself up when something is expiring. Expirations are okay. Like, you know, you may be blocking your blessings when you trying to control and keep something there. You block it. It's like they're trying to keep opening these doors. So just allow these doors to open, and both people everybody involved in this party, we all just got to grow up and be mature and not be all egotistical in our feelings if somebody don't want to deal with you no more. Like, that's okay. That's exactly let them have their freedom. Let that person go.
Freedom.
Like, stop being selfish and being childish. Like, we grown now.
Man, we still got childish ways as adults.
For sure. I know I do. I know I'm still like a little kid too.
I'm still trying to get out of it, some of it.
But we growing though. We growing one day at a time. You know?
I think I would like to end with asking you any affirmations you can give us that you use on a daily basis to keep moving, keep going, regardless of what's going on behind you.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is like you got this question for me right now, right? And I'm going blank, but I bet you when I leave,
You got one.
I'm gonna have a whole bunch of
What about
affirmations
advice?
like, dang.
Oh, what about advice?
Okay, well, so I want to, yeah, okay. So what I just mentioned about the seasons, that's like some advice that I have been wanting to give out lately. Like, but to add to it, yeah, like just be grounded, you know, and take it easy on yourself. I think I'll definitely want to at least put that in with that, like for you guys to take it easy on yourselves, and I'll take it easy on myself. Have grace on yourself, you know, lay a brick a day. You know, that's another thing. That's another motto or affirmation that I definitely like to put out. Lay a brick a day. Next thing you know, eventually you're gonna have a whole wall. So,
I like that. Oh, that's a good one. Okay,
Yeah,
affirmation. You ain't even gotta think about it no more. You gave it.
yeah, there we go. We're gonna go with that one. Lay a brick a day.
On that note, make sure you let them know where to find you.
Oh yes, y'all can find me on Instagram at your girl Neekko. Your girl is spelled YOURGIRL. Neekko is spelled NEEKKO. And in my bio, I have my website. I got my email. I hope I don't got my phone number on there. I don't want y'all my business like that. But yeah, you know, on Instagram I got everything on there. So that's why I'm gonna just leave you with that one name. I don't want to overwhelm you, but I will also say though, matter of fact, go to www.eduiskey.org to donate and support your girl, okay? Because the scholarships have to continue, and the money is coming from y'all. You know, it's coming from us. So,
and that is feeding the kids.
and it's back to the kids and the community too as well. Like I said, you know, we got a lot in store for all ages. We are still going and growing. It is a marathon, so yeah, make sure you guys support and donate, please. $1, $2, $3. It all counts. Whatever you have in your heart, we are grateful in advance. Thank you.
If you haven't attended anything of Education is Key, make sure you check out her page. She always has things going on. You can check her in full effect. I know so many kids that's looking into getting scholarships, and I will send you right to her.
Yep.
And on that note, it's your girl G9 with G Vibes, and it was Neekko.
It's your girl
in the building. All right, y'all. Bye.
Thank you. Yes. You're so